Hi everyone, happy Woman Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be discussing foreplay for forecast. So learning about foreplay, the importance of it when it comes to sexual relationships or just relationships period, and how it can enhance your sexual experiences and encounters. What's up, Funk Slave? Thanks for joining. If you are in need of HIV or STI testing, you can make an appointment by scheduling it with Whitman-Walker. You can call 202-797-4439 to schedule your testing appointment and check in on your sexual health. We're going to get Whitman-Walker in the room and then we'll get started. Also, apologies in advance. So there might be times where I literally just can't hold it and will pause the live and just take a moment to clear my face. But in the interim, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Whitman-Walker's Community Health Department has expanded its outreach efforts to include the social media platform. We cover various topics about HIV and STIs, sexual health practices, access to care, social determinants of health, and public health interventions. The community health team is here to educate and support you. Welcome, Whitman-Walker. Thanks for joining. My name is Jewel, and I use she, hers pronouns, and I work to bring educational Instagram lives to this space with Whitman-Walker's community health team. And today we're going to be discussing, again, foreplay for forecast. So, in the words of Healthline.com's Adrian Santos Longhurst, foreplay is considered any sexual activity before intercourse. That said, intercourse doesn't need to be the grand finale or even on the menu if you don't want it to be when it comes to sexual engagement or sexual activity. Great foreplay alone can be arousing enough when it's done right. In terms of sex, foreplay is usually defined as erotic stimulation preceding intercourse, but without intercourse, it's an action or behavior that precedes an event or comes before an event. This event or foreplay can look different for different people. So foreplay is an essential part of sexual activity, and it triggers physiological and physical responses that make sexual activity more enjoyable and even possible. Let's talk a little bit about physiological and physical response. So when it comes to physiological response, foreplay generally feels good, but it's so much more than that. Healthline.com shares that engaging in foreplay helps build emotional intimacy that can make you and your partner or partners feel more connected in and out of the bedroom or any bedroom adjacent areas. If you're engaging in sexual activity with a stranger or a romantic partner or someone you're familiar with, foreplay helps you feel more relaxed and less self-conscious about the interaction. Additionally, if stress or other factors have negatively affected your libido or your desire to be sexual, foreplay can help get you in the mood. For example, Healthline.com shares that kissing triggers a release of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. And these are all the chemicals that make up the chemical cocktail that lowers cortisol or lowers the stress hormone, or levels of the stress hormone. It also increases feelings of affection, bonding, and euphoria. Now, on to physical response. Foreplay literally and figuratively gets the juices flowing. It increases the feeling of sexual arousal, which causes a variety of physical responses in your body. Some of these physical responses include an increase in your heart rate and your pulse and your blood pressure, dilation of your blood vessels, including your genitals, more blood flow to the genitals, which causes the labia, the clitoris, and the penis to swell. Also causes the swelling of the breasts and erect nipples. And finally, it lubricates the vagina or the front hole, and this can make intercourse more enjoyable and prevent pain during intercourse. So, Healthline.com also shares that foreplay can hold its own and be all that you need to reach orgasm. Research has long shown that many people with vaginas or front holes don't orgasm with intercourse alone. So as long as there's consent, foreplay can be and include anything you want or desire. Foreplay can start well before sex or intercourse even happens and can be so good that you can exclude sex or intercourse altogether. Maybe you're seeing someone who you'll be physically intimate with in a few days or a few hours. You can use that time to start foreplay with a sexy note, whether it's hidden in a pocket or sent over text or email, or hidden underneath the pillow, or even sent, again, a sexy text, also known as a sext. Maybe you take the time to tell your partner all the things that you want to do to them. All of this counts as foreplay. Foreplay can also include role-playing, intense makeout sessions that may or may not include some heavy petting or moaning, lighting candles to set the mood, as candles light on skin can be super flattering to the eyes visually. Can include putting some music on from that special playlist, or eating aphrodisiac foods like maca root, strawberries, fenugreek, oysters, pistachios, honey, or chocolate. Foreplay can include doing a striptease dance. It can also include dry humping, as dry humping builds up anticipation and the motion of bodies rubbing against each other in various stages, whether they're undressed or fully dressed or you're wearing a whole bunch of layers of clothing, can be super arousing. You can also enjoy a hot soapy shower with your partner. You can talk to your partner about what you want them to do to you, or vice versa, what you want to do to them. You can engage in sensory play by blindfolding your partner, or playing with different textures and sensory play, like feathers on or ice on the skin, or ice in the mouth that you're using before using your mouth on your partner, whether it's for oral sex or just for kisses and what have you. It's also possible to achieve orgasm without ever touching genitals. So this is all due to the power of nerves and erogenous zones. Erogenous zones are sexually pleasurable to touch, and a person might derive pleasure from touching these areas themselves, but many people get the most pleasure when someone else touches them. So these include the shoulders and hips and sides, the hands and the wrists, the elbows, the shins, the calves, the cheeks. I think both the butt cheeks and the face cheeks, the area behind the knees, the belly button, the underarms, the feet, the temple and eyes, the forearms, and the toes. Also, each nipple has hundreds of nerve endings, making them super sensitive to touch. And playing with your nipples can bring you a lot of pleasure as well as orgasm. Nipple orgasm is an activity capable by all genders, breast and chest types. When your nipples are stimulated, they shoot off sparks in the genital sensory cortex, and this is the same area of the brain that is aroused by vaginal or frontal or clitoral stimulation. If you're a person who's experiencing a partner who wants to skip foreplay, we've got some tips for you. You know, some folks might not just care, like they don't care about foreplay, or they don't seem to understand the importance of foreplay. They also might be lazy or selfish lovers, and that could be to blame, but it also might just be that they have a lack of confidence in their foreplay skills, or they have a lack of information about how and why foreplay is necessary. Additionally, talking about what you want in bed isn't always easy, and especially if you're worried about hurting or offending your partner's feelings. If you're having a hard time convincing your partner to engage in more foreplay, here are some tips that Helpline.com has to offer. You can start on a positive note, and just, instead of mentioning what they're doing wrong or what they're not doing, tell them what they're doing that feels good and how you want more of it. For example, you can say something along the lines of, "I love it when you kiss my neck before we have sex. I could let you do that to me all night." Also, you don't want to blame them. Telling your partner that your body's craving something different will go over a lot better than telling them they're not satisfying you sexually. You can also show and tell. So sometimes a partner needs a little extra encouragement and maybe a demonstration. The next time you hug or kiss, hold them a little longer and gently guide their hands along your body while telling them how good it feels. Watching a video on tantric sex together might also give them a little nudge in the right direction, especially if not wanting to engage in foreplay has to do with a lack of knowledge on what to do. You can also ask them what they want from you. You can tell how much, turning them on turns you on. And you can follow up with asking if there's anything that they want you to do more of. This will be a great invitation for them to kind of do the same and vice versa by asking you what you want more of. Finally, tell them why it's important to you. You might need to lay it all on the table and make them understand why you need foreplay, and then to have a more pleasurable sexual experience, foreplay might be necessary for you. Sex is about connection and arousal and pleasure and consent, and if any of these items are missing, the experience just can't be the same or the same amount of enjoyable. You can even mention to them that foreplay helps you get wetter and harder for sex. You can tell them that it helps you orgasm or have stronger orgasms. You can tell them it's important to you because not everyone gets aroused at the same pace, and some people need more time than others. You can also tell them it helps you feel closer to them. And finally, you can tell them that it increases bodily awareness of pleasure zones. That's just a little bit of information that we've got today for you about foreplay and how to use it in terms of engaging in sexual activity and making sure that you're having a pleasurable experience and that your partner is also enjoying their time. Before we go, just wanted to share a few reminders about HIV and STI testing and prevention services available through Whitman-Walker. If you need to access HIV or STI testing, you can call 202-797-4439 or visit www.whitman-walker.org/testing to see the latest testing information in the most up-to-date hours. If your community or your organization is interested in Whitman-Walker providing mobile health services in your neighborhood, you can contact mobilehealth@whitman-walker.org. Again, that's mobilehealth@whitman-walker.org. You can also access HIV prevention tools like PrEP or PEP, or start HIV treatment with Whitman-Walker Health at its Max Robinson Center at 2301 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast, or Whitman-Walker at 1525 14th Street Northwest, which is their Logan Circle location. Finally, a few upcoming events. This Saturday marks the 36th annual Walk to End HIV for Whitman-Walker. It's Saturday, October 22nd. You can register to walk, run, or donate at walktoendhiv.org. And this year's walk will take place at Whitman-Walker's new medical home on the campus of St. Elizabeth's in Congress Heights. You can also register on site the morning of the walk. So if you don't do it in advance, you can do it once you arrive as well. Also next week, Wednesday, on October 26th, you can join the community health team, myself included, in honor of Breast and Chest Health Awareness Month. They are having an event at Crazy Aunt Helen's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. You can RSVP to RKEITA at whitman-walker.org. Again, that's RKEITA at whitman-walker.org. All month long, you can visit Crazy Aunt Helen's and order their Booby Blossom cocktail, as they're going to be donating $1 of every drink sold to Whitman-Walker's Women's Health Department. Thank you for taking some time to learn a bit more about Foreplay for Forecast, where to get tested, how to prevent HIV, and how to help people, how to support the fight against HIV. Before we go, just a few reminders about COVID-19 and vaccines. If you've already been vaccinated, that's awesome. You've taken a really important step toward preventing yourself and your loved ones and your community from getting sick. Multiple variants have soared across the world, and it's totally understandable if you want to keep wearing your mask, as the vaccine is not 100% effective at preventing new cases of COVID-19. But all in all, stay alert. And again, just thank you for being vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated and you're looking for an appointment, Whitman-Walker Health has COVID-19 vaccine available. Feel free to give them a call at 202-207-2480 to make an appointment. And if you're having trouble making an appointment with them, or they're just not regional for you and you're a DC resident, you can call 1-855-363-0333 or visit vaccinate.dc.gov. If you're a Maryland resident, you can visit covidlink.maryland.gov or call 1-855-634-6829. And if you're a Virginia resident, you can visit vaccinate.virginia.gov or call 1-877-829-4682. Ooh, almost made it through without sneezing. If you haven't been vaccinated and you're not looking for an appointment, please continue to follow CDC guidelines for mask wearing, quarantining, social distancing, and the like. It's very important that you consider getting the vaccine, discuss COVID precautionary measures with those around you, and be mindful of mask, and also keep your distance, but especially when you don't know whether a person around you has been vaccinated or not. And finally, because we're in another public health pandemic at the same time, let's talk about monkeypox or Mpox. According to the CDC, there are more than 27,000 cases of monkeypox documented in the U.S. And in DC, you can pre-register for a monkeypox vaccine appointment at dchealth.dc.gov/page/monkeypox. Again, that's dchealth.dc.gov/page/monkeypox. Virginia has been working with local care providers to contact, trace, and identify those who are most in need of the monkeypox vaccine. And varying counties in Maryland have allowed people to pre-register for an appointment. But the Maryland Health Department has also recently opened up a pre-registration system, so you can also visit that website and pre-register for an appointment. Please also, if no matter what state you're in, visit your local health department's website for more information on how to get a vaccine appointment for monkeypox or Mpox. DC actually just released some new locations for vaccinations for monkeypox or Mpox. So they've got some walk-up vaccination sites located all around the district. The first one is in Ward 2. It's at 926 F Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. And it's open various hours throughout the week, so Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Ward 3 location's at 5335 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest, and they've got hours on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. They're closed on Tuesdays, but you can also go on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. or Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And finally, the Ward 8 location is 3640 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast, and they're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. They are closed on Sundays. In DC, you are eligible to get a vaccine for monkeypox or mpox, no matter what your sexual orientation or gender is. If you've had multiple sex partners in the last 2 weeks, you can get vaccinated. And people who are in the currently high-risk categories of the community can also get vaccinated. Sex workers of any sexual orientation or gender, or staff of any sexual orientation or gender of any establishment where sexual activity occurs, like bathhouses, saunas, and sex clubs, are also eligible to get vaccinated. Proof of residence is required prior to vaccination, and you can use an ID card with a DC address, a utility bill or other piece of mail with your name and a DC address, or a current DC lease or mortgage with your name on it. Please remember to follow our Whitman-Walker family on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Whitman-Walker, and check the website at www.whitman-walker for the most up-to-date information on services. And for more COVID-19 resources and just general Whitman-Walker services, you can call 202-797-4439. Follow some of Whitman-Walker's programs and family at RealTalkDC_ and at NoFilterDC. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.